You should check it out. It's a 10 out of 10.
Hey guys, this is Super Orange Gamer. Welcome back to the MagCast, in which we have a very slow news week this week, and we're very sorry.
Just means more opportunities for off-topic hijinks.
Absolutely.
We're pretty good at that.
Uh-oh. As you can likely hear today, we have with us Lantis, Insultabot, Ixion, and Dre.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's up to you to guess who's who.
Yeah, it's up to you. You should know.
Guess who? Is he black? Yeah.
Oh gosh, that board game. That was just like, it was teaching people racial profiling. There you go.
It's not my fault that you can ask that question and just clack up like 75% of the board or more. No, actually it's like 99%. I think it's only like 3 black people in the entire game. and now they've just changed it to like all of them are white.
All of them.
All of them.
I think
all
so.
criminals are doing white crime.
Oh wow, that's off topic already.
That's fine though. Like anyone cares. We're all cool here.
Yeah. We're straight.
Okay.
We're straight. I don't even want to know. You know, I'm just gonna move on. So, what's been happening this week? Are our lives also a slow news week?
No. Well, actually, we're all kind of well aware of what we've been up to lately. So, Orange Gamer over here decided it would be a wonderful idea if we were to just, for funsies, to download Gunbound and play that again. That's an old game that I played, I think, back in like 2006. It's like Worms, but with RPG elements, kind of ish. But we all kind of been playing that, and it's been really fun. But originally we played the official one, which is in like season 3. I think that's an incarnation of it now, and it's loaded.
It's season 3.
Yeah, and it's loaded with like ads. There's a huge ad at the top right corner of the screen that's there 24/7.
And it covers up information.
Yeah.
And there's you don't get money for buying stuff for good shots and all this stuff. It's like only for winning a fight. And on top of all that, the stuff you buy is only temporary. You spend all this money to buy this stupid little thing, and you can only have it for 7 days. And we're like,
oh wow,
yeah. And we're like, this is really
that was
lame.
pretty much that.
They do that to keep you playing and to keep seeing the ads and to keep gaining revenue.
Right. So Faye went out there and she found a older build of Gunbound that someone's privately hosting a server for. It was Thor's Hammer, which isn't the original version, but it's it's a lot closer than anything else. And so we played that. No ads, money for good shots, things you buy for your avatar are permanent. It's just, and we've been having an absolute blast with it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way I remember.
Even I got interested, and that's saying something.
Hey, Dre, there's Trico though.
Yeah, Trico, it's good stuff. In fact, I think maybe we should try some of that whenever we're done with MagCast, just for funsies.
I think
yes,
that'd be a nice idea. I
think that would be a great idea. And Bot here, I don't know if he's one started. We were all playing Terraria one night for like 6 hours.
Oh,
that was my fault.
Speaking of that, I've got all right. So I was starting a server. We're all on my world, and we're just sitting there digging it all up. We have Thutmose and Orange Gamer in there with their like in-game equipment, right? So we're just like excavating everything really quickly, making a elevator and all this stuff. And the thing is, I was going to pull all-nighter because I had K-Jack and his roommate coming down, or his old roommate coming down hang out, and we've been LPing Seikun Densetsu 3. So that's probably not going to be uploaded by the time this airs. But if you watch KJAC's YouTube channel, then you'll see it come out, and it's actually been a really fun play. But so when I was staying up all night, I was hosting this Terraria, and eventually I'm like, all right, I can't do this anymore. I've got to catch at least 2 hours of sleep if I can. So I was like, I'll leave my computer on and let you guys mess around. Since I'm host,
right?
I couldn't. So
we're playing on his PC essentially.
Right. Yeah. So I just went to bed. I woke up in the morning to an invasion from the Goblin Army.
I didn't know about this.
So I'm sitting there. All the doors in my house are blown open, and there are goblin sorcerers and warriors and archers just all up in there, and there are tombstones everywhere because I've been spewing them from all my death.
Candy cane rooms in the basement.
Yes, they were coming up from the elevator.
Oh,
they're just sitting there, and I'm just sitting there. Spawn, die, just spewing tombstones.
It's like that episode of Mission Hill with that Viking MMO. You failed us all, Lantis.
And I was like, all right, disconnect. I saved and quit. So
I gotta see this. We gotta play that tonight too.
Yeah, and so here's the problem. All right, Goblin Army only spawns after you meet a lot of requirements in the game. The character I started up with is brand new, so I don't have a lot of the good level
I can tell
stuff.
you who that was.
Yeah. So
Thutmose has better gear than I do.
Yeah.
So either Thutmose or
he
Fame.
spent all night just getting things to spawn.
Yeah.
And I went to bed. He was still going.
So
Oh wow.
So he met the requirements to make the Goblin Army spawn, and he could handle them because if you can make it spawn, then you can probably handle it. But when you left, and I'm left by myself, a low-level character, I can't handle the Goblin Army.
No.
Especially when you're AFK for 8 hours?
Yeah, and I'm not. I call not it on tombstone cleaning duty.
How many are
not
there?
it. Aside from that, haven't really been playing much. Me and Ix have been playing. We finally finished going through professional on Resident Evil 6. We're going to eventually get into playing Pirate's Booty on Borderlands 2, and we're still hitting up Blaze Blue every now and then. It's all good.
Yeah, and need to hit some of that a little sooner than later.
I agree. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I whooped some of that,
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
still like level 50. No, I'm like level 17 Borderlands 2. I don't get a lot of Xbox gaming time. I started up a Mass Effect game finally. I have a receipt from 2009 in the case. It's high time from GameStop, but I'm already annoyed.
I'm actually looking forward to picking up the trilogy set of it, but unfortunately you got to get the DLC separately, which also means spending an additional $90 if you want the DLC.
The DLC is $90?
There's that
the
much
entire
DLC
package.
spread across the 3 games, and that's not including the crap. That's just the actual real content.
See, I have all 3 games. I bought them all for less than $20, so I'm not getting the thing if it doesn't have DLC. So, suck it, BioWare.
Last night, Yule and I decided we should get drunk and play a horrible game. So we got drunk and played a horrible game. We played Sonic the Fighters.
Oh, no.
Oh, so you guys did end up doing that one.
We did. It was horrible. Oh my goodness. There's a 20-minute recording we did. It'll go up eventually, but wow, it was nasty.
I can't
Dre
wait
was
for that.
actually
Oh,
there. He
gosh.
can attest.
It didn't look that bad.
It was like what I remember of the night, which it was just bad.
I mean, it certainly didn't look like anything like Street Fighter or Super Smash Brothers, but I've seen worse.
It played worse than the
Pit
original
Fighter.
Tekken. I mean, it was really
Well, I've never
poor.
played Tekken anything, so
And every
like
single
Tekken.
characters had the same attacks, and they was just horrible and horrible.
You guys need to actually play Sony All-Stars drunk.
That
actually
I'm
good
actually
game.
thinking of picking up. It does look good.
I mean, you guys
Wow,
could do
Smash
parappa
Brawl really
battles.
looks different.
That's kind of funny, actually.
I
Oh.
always forget the name of it. I honestly call it Sony Smash Brothers all the time.
I'm pretty sure a
Yeah.
majority of people do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's fairly common. That's a common.
Let's
And
face
I
it,
believe
it's the
Dre's-
same type of game.
Just been with us playing Gunbound most nights for hours on end.
Yeah, what you
Landing
else have been
LPs.
doing? Oh yeah, no. Since the last MagCast, he's done something pretty extraordinary.
Ooh.
Dre, finally finished a year-long Let's Play.
Oh yeah,
Well-
there was that.
Well,
huge
no, not really.
I beat the final boss, but I still have to go for the optional guy.
Right.
thing.
But credits have been recorded.
Yes.
So that counts as game beat. So now you're just going the extra mile.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
This is just
extra
also-
half mile. If I were to go to the extra mile, I'd go for like all the treasure chests, and I really don't feel like doing that anymore.
I don't even know if the reward is probably not even worth it. I don't
There's
know
no
what it is.
reward.
Oh.
Yeah,
Reward
definitely
is
not
a
worth it.
sense of achievement.
No, there's a guy in Monstro Town that gives you something if you unlock all the secret chests, right?
He tells you that you've unlocked them all, but he doesn't give you anything for it.
Oh.
Wow.
Congratulations! Here's nothing.
Oh
You should
man.
kill him. Mario should go berserk.
And I probably won't do the 100 jumps. I found out that it would be not that difficult using save states and rewinds to cheat my way to 100 jumps, but I just want to get the LP over with now.
It's been
After
a long
playing for that
time.
long, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a grand total 80 parts. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Epic.
80 parts that are on average 25-30 minutes in length.
Oh,
And
it's
triple that time because 2/3 of your time is definitely editing.
so. Speaking of alcohol and Let's Plays, yesterday I mentioned that me, K-Jack, and his old roommate were Let's Playing Seiken Densetsu 5 or 5-3, but that was after having consumed a lot of Kahlua, Amaretto, and Jaeger.
Wow, that sounds very creamy.
Well, no, not in one drink. Oh no.
Right.
No,
I was supposed to say.
No, but Devin, K-Jack's old roommate, was attempting a shot called Starry Night, which was Goldschlager and Jaeger, and he said it was the most disgusting thing ever.
That sounds
Ew.
pretty bad.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to
Yeah.
look like a Starry Night because Jaeger's really
Yeah.
dark, and the Goldschlager looks like stars because of the gold flakes. Really creative name, though.
It's very aesthetic, Lantis.
Yeah. It's just not fun to imbibe. But,
Having a drink with gold flakes inside it does not sound very
oh no,
fun to drink.
Goldschlager is liquid like hot tamales or red hots. It's the most cinnamoniest thing you could drink, and it's not bad. Like, I'm really impressed. Like, it's supposedly the gold flakes, when you drink them, are supposed to ever so slightly lacerate the inside of your stomach lining and therefore get the alcohol into your system better.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
No,
I'm
I know
so
it
sorry.
is. Because the only way that would ever happen is if there was some kind of force pushing on
Yeah.
the flakes on your stomach lining, but they're freely floating around in
You're
alcohol.
just basically making gold pee and poop.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It doesn't
I'm not
cut you up.
dookie.
It
There's a
works,
pleasant thought.
it
Or
works the
puke.
same as people that eat glass. It like light bulbs. It does not cut you up.
No.
Alcohol cast.
Yeah.
Or 11.
Well,
What's
that's
really interesting is that they all left their alcohol here after that because they didn't.
You know, my friends used to do that in college when you went to their place, and then they just had like everyone's stuff in their fridge at that one person's house.
So
And that
I'm
becomes the
like,
house.
what do I do? Do I drink it or do I just like save it for the next? They won't be back for another like half year. So
Well, I guess it's
Nah.
yours then, friend.
it's yours now.
all right, is that
That was a host gift.
right?
That
I guess
you're now Captain Lantis.
Yar.
But moving on, we got some news. It's a slow news week. We got some stuff. We have a Robot Unicorn Attack sequel, Revolution. I thought they already added pandas, but they added a bunch of stuff.
That
Still
song
full
that they
soundtrack
play
by Erasure.
Oh wait, they play more than one song now?
I bet they don't.
That one song is awesome though. I love that song.
We have they have a Facebook version. That's the one they promote now. There's microtransactions, which I think is fully stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going.
I like the game.
They're turning EA.
Yeah, Adult Swim going EA. And there's also a microtransaction-free version. But I thought that was an interesting little thing, considering that was so viral at one point.
It was. Oh, I played the crap out of it. Have you seen the video for that song? The Always, I think it's called Always, or I Want to Be With You, or something like that.
My friend played it at her wedding during the reception. It was hilarious. All the old people did not know what was going on. Well, then again, the brides, the wedding party came in to, that song at the end of the first Star Wars? Where they're getting all those medals and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That played, and they were like, what music is this?
It was
awesome. Hilarious.
It's good stuff. But yeah, I'll give that a play. I haven't played that in a long time, and it's a good game.
Just go to the microtransaction free version.
Absolutely.
You really don't need bamboo shoots to go faster.
Has anybody not played that? Is there anybody in here that has not played it?
Like ever?
You will be interested in knowing that I tried it out.
Oh, good. All right.
I did not play it.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I heard about it and I was like, bleh, and just moved on.
Well, and by all rights, I understand that. It's a stupid little Flash game, but holy crap.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I might go back and try it out. I'll definitely give this new one a shot since you guys are talking it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you need to waste 5 minutes, it's the perfect thing. Like 5 minutes at one time and never again.
Right?
Yeah. Or fighting against your friends for the high score on Facebook, which was what I was doing for a while. On the first game.
Yeah, Facebook.
Yeah.
Whatever. Get social.
I'm not a fan of playing games on Facebook, although I was seriously tempted to try one, and that was SimCity, just because I love SimCity.
SimCity?
I bought SimCity for on Origin. It comes out in March, I believe March 8th. And when I bought it, they were like, "Oh, great, glad you liked it." And by the way, and I almost clicked the link to go play it, but I knew better.
And you know what? How much you come out a better man because of it. Congratulations.
Yeah. Because you got Origin for SimCity. You love SimCity.
Yeah, so already that tells you something. Although,
exactly.
Honestly, Origin is the same thing as Steam. It works the exact same way, except for Steam is more transparent. Origin kind of keeps things hidden away. They want to have more information collected than you are easily aware of.
Yeah, they're squirreling it away a little bit.
Yeah.
So just a kind of segue here. I think it's kind of funny that I happen to be playing Seiken Densetsu this weekend when there is Seiken Densetsu being Japanese for Secret of Mana. When there is a new Secret of Mana game coming out soon.
Oh, shut up, Lantis. It's my turn to be cynical. I love the Mana series.
You and me both. High five. Yay.
Yeah, high five yourself over there. I'm not putting the palm to the screen. It's an iOS game.
I heard it. I heard you did it. I heard you.
I didn't. That wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
Me.
It's a card battler. I saw a title for a new Mana game. I got really excited. And it's a card battling iOS game.
That's the word. It's just that's just how depressing is that? You're like
even worse. It's a social card battling iOS game.
How could I be social?
It's not even a single player game. It's like, oh, you play against real people and all that crap.
So it has a little bit.
It has a lot of social aspects to it. Like it wants to link up with all your social accounts, and it wants to share and trade info and promote.
Like,
yeah, it's just it's horrible.
So I see what they did here. This
Legend
is
of Mana?
Yeah. Oh, Legend of Mana was good. Legend of Mana was
all
really
the
good.
elements and the pets that you had, I could see making a card game out of that, an actual TCG.
Like in
Just
the
saying.
whole laying down places, and the co-op was fun, and like it was really weird. It was a really weird diversion from what you're used to in the Mana series. Like if you don't know, Mana originated on the Game Boy as Final Fantasy Adventure, which I had recently played and thought was amazing. It then became it later became reincarnated in the SNES as the Secret of Mana. And a lot of people know that game. Then there's Seiken Densetsu 3, which is Legend of Mana 3, since Secret of Mana is really Seiken Densetsu 2. And you know how that whole goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the DS versions come out and the PS1 version and all that, and it's all really good. And aside from Legends, it was just kind of weird. Still really good. Artistically, it looks amazing. I love how that game looks. But so what I think they're doing is trying to rope in new people into ISO games while simultaneously depressing all the franchise fans at the same time. Because
there's actually something interesting. Secret of Mana was the first Squeenix iOS game, I believe. A port.
Oh, really?
It's near impossible to play.
Yeah, because it's no tactile controls.
I know, I'm saying
it's like, what are you going to do? I can understand playing a turn-based RPG where you don't have to have lightning-fast reflexes. If you mess up a button press, you can just back up and do what it is you wanted to do. But something like Secret of Mana, when the hit detection, let's just be honest, wasn't that great to begin with.
Yeah, try playing it on a phone.
Oh, yeah, with no tactile keys.
So I have a question. Is the Mana series still going in Japan?
Yes.
As in new releases, new consoles, are they still coming out with games?
I don't know. I haven't seen a Mana game since DS. Like, I haven't even heard of one.
PlayStation 1.
DS is still fairly recently.
Child of Mana was the last Mana game I remember coming out and having played.
So the reason I bring that up is, why this series? Why this franchise? And why an obscure release like this? Are they trying to prepare us for something new?
I think it lends itself to it, like I was saying, with the monsters and the elements and stuff. And they also did a strategy game at one point with them.
The reason why they're doing this is because the Mana series still belongs to Square, correct?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
believe so.
Complete ownership.
That's why. That's why they decided to make it ISO only and make it a stupid social card game. Because it's Square Enix, and they love to ruin everything that was once dear to me. Everything. They can't touch anything without ruining it.
Next thing you know, they have a Chrono Trigger app that's like Fruit Ninja. They're like, it's Chrono Break, and Chrono Breaks
I won't have it!
The sword.
Oh gosh. I'm having a heart attack. Stop it. Oh my poor heart.
Hey, they ruined my favorite. Feel the pain.
Oh gosh. Square, why are you doing this?
Well, they're not the first company to ruin their franchises.
True, but they're doing it hard at such a hardcore level that I don't think it's ever been matched.
No, Sega.
Yeah. Sega thinks they're doing well by it.
Every time Sega puts out another Sonic game.
Oh, and Sega is up to some hijinks this week, actually.
Yeah. Lucas, you want to mention something about that?
Absolutely. You know what? I'd love to. All right, so early next year, first quarter, comes out an RPG that I have been dearly looking forward to. It's coming out by Level 5 and drawn by Ni no Kuni. It's been mentioned on the show several times before, and I have no problem mentioning it again. But Sega is now suing Level 5 for the stupidest thing I have. This is like borderline, oh my gosh, McDonald's coffee is hot, I'm suing you. Stupid.
Well, even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually agree. So the thing is, there is a DS series or at least a DS entry to a series, of a soccer game that Level 5 has been putting out in Japan for several years now. It's based off of an anime, and I've never played it, so I don't know a lot about it, or the game or the anime. But apparently...
Well, yeah, it's a soccer game.
Yeah.
We don't play soccer games, let's be honest.
Yeah. But...
Get some football.
don't play sports games, period. But apparently, you control your characters with the stylus. Now, let me ask you, real quick. Has controlling characters with the stylus ever been done in a DS game before?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Many times.
Let's see. Zelda, Mario 64, DS.
Yes, and even before the DS, it was done on the Palm Pilots. Right. It was done on cell phones. It's been done for ages.
Child of Mana did it on the. Since we were talking about that, I know Child of Mana did it. Chrono Trigger did it on their release for the DS version. In fact, I can't think of a single DS game that had like a main character you played at that could not, if not, must have been controlled by the stylus, right?
And by the way, the game being mentioned is Inazuma 11.
Right, thank you very much. So Sega is suing Level 5 for using that control on the DS screen, using your character, using the stylus to control your character, because apparently they had a patent on it.
Dum.
The intrigue continues, though.
Objection!
On the radio show.
Objection! Oh, gosh. It's just, like, how can you possibly sue over this? And what angers me more than anything else, it's not that Sega is doing this when I think it's just out of sheer jealousy, since they can't put out a game to save their lives, and they're just sitting there ruining the Sonic franchise, and they just got to take someone down with them. But this could potentially put a stall on Ni no Kuni if they lose this battle. Because
I highly doubt they'll lose it, though.
No, I don't think they'll lose it.
Because their
the reason they can't lose it is because, first of all, Sega has not been defending this patent until now. There's plenty of games that we listed forever. And to make things even worse...
Yeah, it dilutes it.
Level 5 has put out games in this series using the stylus as a character controlling mechanism before Sega ever even put in a patent for it.
Yeah.
So...
BAM!
Yeah, so... But, again, if a woman in, podunk nowhere can sue McDonald's for their coffee being hot, then, come on, let's be honest, this is the world we live in.
The world is changing, because now there's patent trolls, and the judges are sick of them.
Yeah, copyright trolls are a huge
isn't that
thing.
so funny that patent troll is an actual term now?
It's a legal term, yes.
Trademark. Oh my
Patent troll is a legal term. I should trademark it and become rich.
Right, absolutely.
And then you'll get a patent troll.
Yes.
Yeah, I know this isn't related. I know Dre watches it, but there's this one guy on Storage Wars right now trying to trademark the word yup.
What?
And I think he knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
and I believe Trey Songs is going against him because he also wants the word yup trademarked.
Wait, you mean yup as
you can trademark words, yes. There's a lady that owns a restaurant in somewhere in the East Coast. She trademarked the word hun, H-U-N. I think it's in Baltimore. Yeah, she has a restaurant in Baltimore, and it's called something Hun, or Hun's Diner, or something like that. And she trademarked the word hun, not just in the use in relation to her restaurant, but the word itself is trademarked and owned by her. As then
the apostrophe, the shortened term for honey.
Yes, but she got so much flack for it from the community that she actually gave up her patent, her trademark. So hopefully people will be following that example and just freaking out on the person that puts trademarks on a word. How can you trademark a word that is not a brand? I can understand trademarking a brand, but a word that you use in evereveryday language.
I gotta explain this guy. His name is Dave. He owns this business for auctions, and his catchphrase is "yup" during the auctions. Every time he does that. Yup.
I can't handle it.
And he uses it so much. He's got it in big bold letters on his truck. Yup.
And impact font.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, so I'd be okay with him having a trademark in it only in relation to his personal business, as in I can't use it in that.
But he wants merchandise.
So how many U's does he use in Yup?
Huh?
Like 5 or 6.
5 or 6? Is that what's trademarked? The 5 or 6 Yup?
No, he wants it all.
So he wants Yup and not Yup.
I think he got both.
What? All right. It's hurting my brain now. We
trademark to him.
Yeah, words shouldn't be able to be copyrighted like that.
Well,
right.
Nope.
Yeah. Do you know what
I say
song is?
You can because you can say stuff like Microsoft and Sony. Clearly, you can trademark words, but in context, it's always in context.
Yeah, but think of like what Microsoft. Like that's not even a word. I mean, it became a word because somebody made it up.
Okay, Apple.
Apple.
There you go, Apple.
Yeah, now see, Apple is different. Like
in relation to electronics, they can use that word and no one else.
Yeah,
that's fine. But Apple went crazy. Like they sued somebody in China because they were like an Apple grocery store. But
wow,
they are going crazy.
So you can't. Their own employees.
You know what? You shouldn't even be surprised. Like,
For one, you shouldn't be surprised, and for two, how could they get away with that? Because China has no intellectual property laws. They don't believe in it.
Well, they didn't get away with it. I'm pretty sure they got stopped.
Good.
I didn't
they just put them in one of their factories.
Oh no!
They just bought them out, probably.
That is controversial as heck. Like all these hipsters are like, "Oh, I'm buying such a clean product, and I do own a Mac, but I also do realize that it was made just like any other computer for the most part."
Right. Well, that's that. Though, just going back to the main topic, Sega is stupid. I am sorely disappointed in them. Not only for how much they've destroyed their own franchise, but now they're actively attacking another, company, and
I'm
it just
legitimately
seems
sad for them.
Yeah,
even though they rolled my ass.
They're probably just starting to hurt for money.
Yeah,
I don't want them.
Especially since they ruined Sonic the Hedgehog.
And then people like me that get drunk and buy games. I bought Sonic the Fighters. I gave them money for it.
Wait, you gave Sega money for that? Not just some random dude on Amazon?
No. It's only a digital release unless you buy the Dreamcast version. And to play online, we needed it digitally. So between Duel and I, we both gave them $10.
Oh no!
Sorry.
All right, out.
Sorry.
Get out. You're not.
Sega's crazy, and
well, the thing is, they're not incapable of producing a good game, because me and Ix have been playing a series they've been putting out. There's now going to be a third installation of the Valkyria Chronicles, which those games are so good.
And PSO2 is well designed. I'll hand it to him. It's good.
Yeah.
It's right.
But with all of us being so down on Sega, for good reason, of course. The only thing I have to say is that Sega, your future's gonna be great.
I still don't know what that line that's from.
Joke.
He's slowly tottering off the edge of his swivel chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had another story for today. I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna, be all like informative. There's gonna be Steam guides. They're not up yet. I'd like to wait till they're up. Sorry, podcast listeners.
Well,
if you want to check out more, it's in beta.
Yeah, apparently you can embed YouTube videos and images and stuff like that. So it's like a step up from game FAQs.
Oh man, no more ASCII art.
Well, yeah, I would I've written 2 walkthroughs for games in my life. One for Chrono Trigger, and one for Arc Aerith, the game I'm making. And I did ASCII art for all the dungeons. So I think that if people like doing ASCII art, it's fun to do, and I think that if there's a place for it, they will do it in these walkthroughs. It's always awesome seeing ASCII art, because seeing comprehensive maps made out of just characters off a
Little
keyboard is
lines,
cool.
X's,
Yeah.
O's.
But yeah, I could just see this being a really good format. Like really creative people could use this to make guides better than anything that could be printed. You know?
Right, and you can embed YouTube videos, and that's important because sometimes you just gotta see how something works.
Can you imagine people making achievement, like since Steam games have their own like set of achievements?
Yeah.
People can make Steam achievement guides and having embedded videos for every single one of them, showing you exactly how to get it, and that's cool.
Yeah, that could
the
turn out
advent
pretty
of digital,
well.
we would say, as opposed to print.
And you know what? That sounds really powerful, like Nintendo Power.
You got the power.
Oh, I love these
Nintendo
segues.
Power.
If anything we do right, we do segues.
So, what happened to Nintendo Power?
They died.
It's dying.
Da, 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 da.
No, you don't even understand. It was an ordeal for me to get Nintendo Power. I was 6. I was hanging out with a neighborhood kid. And this is before the internet and before, we knew Nintendo's phone number to pick it up.
Right.
And he gave me the little insert out of his magazine to subscribe. And that's how I got into it.
I know it was like
that's how it works.
It was like, hey man, I got the hookup for you, Nintendo Power card right here.
Yeah.
Now you got the power.
Well, the thing is,
the power.
my interaction with Nintendo Power is really limited. I had 1 year subscription myself, right? And that's all I had. But then I had friends like growing up in high school that get it, and they would bring it to school, or I'd go to their house and
my friends
see them there.
That too.
So, like, SK would have a subscription, like, back in high school when we were in the 8th grade, and I got to see it, that through that way and that kind of stuff. So, I still got a significant feel of the power, but I completely dropped any care for Nintendo Power as soon as, the internet, like, Game Winners and Game FAQs hit, and then it kind of ruined the market for it because you don't really need it anymore. I mean, you got the internet and news sites and game FAQs and YouTube and
the advent of digital news blogs.
Right. And
it's killing all kinds of print.
Did anybody buy out Nintendo Power? Any online company? Are they still doing anything digitally?
No, Nintendo owns it. So
like they're gonna let that go.
It wouldn't hurt them to make a digital publication.
Yeah, maybe.
But
that has an
absolutely
online presence.
Well, they could. I mean, if they freaking just look, Nintendo will one day it will happen. Nintendo will embrace the internet in full eventually. They could have their own website where they could put digital Nintendo Power. I think eventually, maybe not for a few years, but there will be a Nintendo Power resurgence. Like,
but look, I mean, I agree with you, but that's not really what it's about. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about the past,
right?
And we're talking about how all of us, were introduced to Nintendo Power. Dre, I don't think I heard you talk about your dealings with Nintendo Power back in the day.
I have plenty of them. I'm not specifically sure where I started getting Nintendo Power, but let's see, it was thanks to a player's guide called Mario Mania, which I think was part History of Mario and part Super Mario World Player's Guide. And there was, of course, that little insert in there talking about Nintendo Power. And I had heard of Nintendo Power before. I had bought a random issue once. It was an issue where they had the wonderful Super Mario Adventures comic, because I can't think of the better word for it. There is a better word for it. And it was the issue where they were in the haunted house, and that got me interested, and it's like, here's this insert where I could subscribe. And so I wound up getting subscribed to Nintendo Power as a birthday present, and my grandparents kept my subscription going for many, many years. I eventually stopped because, like everybody else said, there was the internet, and I noticed that I wasn't reading as much as I used to. During the beginning, I would read through the entire issue, but then I had less time to read the whole issue, so I only went for the articles that I knew would definitely interest me, and then stopped reading altogether. I think my last issue is somewhere around 180, 185. That was when my subscription finally ended.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, the magazine itself started like declining in quality too. Like I was like, and like it used to be so good. Like they had all these different stuff like Nestor, and they have like the strategy guides for games, and just pages upon pages.
That's what could have kept them strong, was having strategy guides in every single issue.
Yeah, I love that, especially looking at the maps. Like when I was younger, I would just sometimes imagine what would it be like to play this game.
That's how I saw Chrono Trigger. I was like, whoa.
Computer. So, like, I use strategy guides even now. Like, I have a Skyrim strategy guide. It's friggin' bigger than the Bible. And it's easier to use that than a computer at times, honestly.
Yeah.
True. No. Yeah,
but one thing I do remember is, like Dre said, reading them and having time. And before having easy access to the internet, like, I would flip through them. And I would even look at the ads, and I would try to see like those tiny screenshots that are in the ads, and I'd be like trying to tear them apart and see what the game is like, and like what items there are, and all of that.
And I can't tell you how many times I just looked at a strategy guide and just saw like a map of a game. I was even interested in it. I was like, that's looking pretty good. Like I remember the strategy guide for Super Adventure Island 2. I was like, oh god, I want that game so bad. I never got it. I've played it a little bit, but I remember I was like, I need that game. Just for the strategy guide.
And strategy guides are a big part of print media, because the one issue of EGM that I still actually, it might be 2 issues, and it was Game Informer, not EGM, was the one that had the strategy guide to Star Ocean 2, and on the next page after that was the strategy guide to Lunar Eternal Blue. Or Silver Star. It was actually Silver Star.
Good times.
They had 2 strategy guides
for
I have major releases. Yeah.
I have that.
Goodness, that's the best issue ever. I still have that one. And the other one I still have is the one that had the complete strategy guide. This one's definitely EGM, of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. And every single page is like, if you're on this version, here's this.
Huh. That's
what made print media so powerful, was including those strategy guides, and they forgot.
Yeah. They really stopped including strategy. I must have stopped subscribing to them after that point.
Way before then.
Yeah.
Then.
The last issue I remember owning was the one for Earthworm Jim 2, right?
I'm still subscribed to Game Informer. But only because GameStop rewards program.
Yeah, that's the only reason I have it.
Right.
And honestly, it's starting to be less and less worth it because I stopped buying used as much. Cause
I actually have been liking it a little more.
My wife loves to read that magazine. Every time it comes in, she goes, "Oh, my magazine is here," and she loves to tear through it. But the only reason I have it is because of the 10% off reward program on used games. But I've been buying new games more often. I've been buying digitally more often.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I bought a used game at GameStop even.
The only thing I go to GameStop for now are for games like Borderlands 2 pre-orders where they have exclusive content.
Right, yeah.
Other than that, it's Amazon and digital.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm in the exact same boat. That's how it works, really.
Yeah.
Here's a bit of a... Oh, you go ahead. Okay, I'll go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Here's a bit of a nostalgic little memory. It's a minor thing, but it's nostalgic. How they printed out all the maps. In the older days, they actually took screen caps of the maps. It's like, here's a screen cap of this part, and they would string them together. Like I remember one particular issue where they were showing maps for Felix the Cat on NES, and all across the map you would see Felix the Cat sitting all over the place because they took all those screenshots with him in it.
Yeah.
And back then, you gotta wonder, how were those screenshots taken?
It's a good question.
It was magic.
Yeah.
Though
Polaroids.
While that is cool, that's not lost. If you go to game FAQs, a lot of people do that too. Like whenever SK.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do.
Never mind. I know what you're talking about.
Game FAQs has, if you go to the FAQ section, they have it separated by text walkthroughs, and underneath that it's like images based around the game. You can find completely like screen capped and pieced together maps of the entire like of dungeons and stuff.
Yeah, but only if somebody feels like doing it.
Yeah,
and
but
you know,
a lot of
that
people
brings up
do.
a great point of why the print media is dying so quickly. It's because of all of just the end user is now becoming the author. And all over the internet, everybody is writing their own stuff
Steam
and just helping
lends
each
itself to
other
that.
out. Essentially open source media now. I mean, the internet has freed everything. And so it's hard to pay, not only to pay the print and shipping costs, but it's hard to even pay writers. Because there's so many people doing it for free online, and plus immediate access rather than having to wait.
I know people in the watching this won't be able to see, but if you look over to the chat in the Google Hangout, I linked to a Game FAQs article, or the Game FAQs link.
Oh wow, yeah, and it has every single every single image for every single map in
a PNG
in Super Mario Brothers, right?
That's really cool.
And if you just click on any of them,
to this in the video as an example, but this is exactly what we're talking about. So
like this kind of stuff is the exact same kind of things they would put in Nintendo Power, but here it is readily available online, and that's probably what killed Nintendo Power. And it's not going to be. I'm telling you, Nintendo Power's not the first magazine that's going to close up shop because
there's been several already.
Yeah,
that's
OPM
the
was the first major one. Of course, Dreamcast magazine that had to go because System died. OPM died, and then after OPM died, Xbox magazine recently died, and now so all three of the official magazines have died.
Yeah, and GamePro died, and I love GamePro too. GamePro and Nintendo Power are my joint.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have both of those magazine subscriptions, and those were what I did.
Right.
I thought one of the big Nintendo Power parts for me, it decided what games I was going to get.
Yeah.
Like the previews?
I looked at the reviews and previews.
That's how I got RPG Maker, was because an old issue of OPM, it had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the cover. It even had a demo disc with it on it. And on the demo disc was also Major League Baseball 97.
Oh, man.
I think it was. And they had no, not 97. Anyway, so whatever year Tony Hawk 2 came out, it was that MLB. And those were the two games on the disc I played nonstop. And I tell you, I always went back to that issue before RPG Maker came out because they had just a single screenshot of a interior of a castle, and I was just blown away because I was staring at that little screenshot. Like it even has reflections. Of course, those were gone, but reflections in the marble floor.
You know, when it comes down to it, that's how a lot of us got here. Isn't that crazy?
That's true. That's how I got here. That's why I know you guys, is because
exactly
of a print
what happened
magazine.
To me.
A single one paragraph and one picture in an old magazine is why I know you guys.
I know you guys for a different reason, but that's another story for another time.
But I don't think this is the last we'll see of it. I think maybe eventually Nintendo will come back, but it'll be reiterated in like an online.
I'm hoping.
I honestly believe that you're right, and I think it's going to be integrated into their consoles. I think they're going to just have news coming through their consoles, and they're going to brand it as Nintendo Power.
That would be awesome.
That's what I see them doing, but not too soon.
Not for a while.
They are so slow at doing the obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. One day
in 2020, that's going to happen. And let me tell you, fans of Nintendo, my body is in fact ready.
It's ready now. I want to play freaking New Super Mario Brothers
Wii U with you guys. The thing he does with his hands when he talks, I love it. Freaking Reggie.
Yeah. Memories.
Good times.
Yeah.
It legitimately did distress me to hear it's closing, even though I haven't bought it in years. I haven't bought it since GameCube came out, but oh my gosh. Just hurts.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
There you go. That's what's up. We all had fun. Have you all seen the cover for the final issue?
No.
Yeah, the throwback.
Yeah.
How have we not mentioned that?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's important.
Wait, yeah, I have.
The final cover for Nintendo Power is just it just looks exactly the same as the very, very first one, just for New Super Mario Brothers U instead of Mario Brothers 2, which is just
which we raced recently.
It's perfect.
It is perfect.
Yes.
It's done in like claymation and everything. It's just they couldn't have done that could not have been better.
That was a very smart move. I don't know who thought of that, but it was genius.
Absolutely.
Give that guy a raise.
Now, there's something that I definitely need to bring up before we end all this. This is important. So, some point during Nintendo Power, they printed this. You know the Players Poll section where they answer letters and have all those pictures with the envelopes? Those are awesome, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, I always wanted to do one. I never did.
That was one of the articles I would still read from time to time, and one of the letters, the editor answered saying that they actually started putting together new issues 2 months in advance, and that really interested me. And so I sent Nintendo Power an email saying, "Hey, you put it in it's 2 months in advance. How do you do that and still make the news sound recent?" And they sent an email back, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I'm reading this issue here of Nintendo Power. It's like, I get to this one part. You guys start writing each issue 2 months in advance? That's interesting. How far in advance do you... Wait, this sounds familiar. And lo and behold, there's my name. They actually printed my email in Nintendo Power.
You have to... What issue is that? Do you know?
Yeah, I have it right here in front of me, in fact. It's issue...
That's awesome.
It's issue number 155. It has 007 Agent Under Fire on the cover.
Huh.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
That's awesome, Dre. That's
I gotta
cool.
find that.
Your name is part of history.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey, didn't Lamar Wells make it into Nintendo Power at some point?
He?
No, not Nintendo Power. That was Game Informer twice, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Game Informer has the art section still, and I love it that they still have something like that by the letters.
I miss, though, the fans actually drawing on envelopes like they did for PlayStation Magazine.
I always wondered
PSN.
how they didn't get damaged in the mail.
Yeah, well,
true.
I guess maybe...
It was an envelope within an envelope sometimes.
Must be, yeah.
I guess. Well, I guess we're pretty much done here, guys. But I demand that some people help me with this goblin infestation problem I have in Terraria.
We're gonna later.
I've got some cleaning up to do.
I guess I'll get the push broom for the gravestones.
Appreciated.
Well, I don't think we have, as Lantis has stated, we have no questions this week. I've seen chat is a barren wasteland, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's like a tumbleweed.
Yeah.
It's a very low-key, overcast Sunday. Very chill.
We'll pick up eventually.
We'll pick back up when the sun comes back.
And when
4
V6
months.
comes out, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just messing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun with the retrospective of Nintendo Power. It wasn't a recent topic, but honestly, it's something worth mentioning since, site name, RPG Maker Magazine.
Yeah,
something we all kind of like to do. Maybe we're influenced by them a little bit, and I hope you all enjoyed.
Graphic novel. That was what I was trying to remember. Graphic novel.
Just in time.
Always
that was amazing.
Nice. All right, guys. We'll catch you later.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.